everybody, welcome back to North Carolina. This week we're visiting Winston-Salem, a great city with a fascinating history. We're actually going to do 2 videos on this city because there was so much to do. Today we're going to show you the Winston part of the city, and next week we'll do Old Salem. And I want to take a minute here to let you know that, I don't think I've said this before, but whenever I mention places or websites or things of interest in my videos, I always try to put those links in the description below the video on YouTube. So if you see something that you want to come back and reference later, just look in that description and you should see all the links there. Okay, back to Winston-Salem. This city is really a combination of 2 smaller towns. The village of Salem was settled in 1766 by a group of Moravians. The Moravians are one of the oldest Protestant denominations in the world, and they came here to build a religious community. We're going to show you more about them next week, but anyway, in the mid-1800s, the government of North Carolina wanted to make Salem into the county seat. The congregation said they did not want to be the county seat, but that they would sell the government some of their land to make a new town just north of their community settlement. So that town became the county seat called Winston. So in the 1880s, the U.S. Postal Service combined the 2 towns and named it Winston-Salem so that they could have one post office that would serve both towns. So it became one city. And even now, though, it still has 2 very distinct communities and histories. Winston is a tobacco city. Just before the 2 towns were merged in the late 1800s, a man named R.J. Reynolds came to Winston to build his tobacco company. The company bought up dozens of little tobacco companies that were already in the town and began making tobacco products, including the cigarette that they created, Camel cigarettes. So there's just a little history of Winston for you before we head over to see the city. We've moved a few hours west of Lake Gaston to Forest Lake Campground in Advance, North Carolina. This one is a little closer to Durham, which is on the other side of the Research Triangle. And it looks like there's quite a bit to do over here, and this campground is beautiful. So we're looking forward to 2 more weeks in North Carolina here.
Glad to be back in the sun. I was just saying to Jason, you're not in the South unless you're having a drink on the veranda at 5 p.m.
What a lovely little city. We're just driving around the downtown of Winston-Salem. We just passed the Reynolds building, the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company building, and this building was actually the inspiration for the Empire State Building in New York City. We've stopped here at the home of R.J. Reynolds. He is the person who founded the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company back in the late 1800s and made Winston into the lucrative city that it is today. This house has since been turned into an art museum, so it's not restored to the way that it was when the Reynolds lived here. So we're not going to go inside, but the gardens and grounds are open and free to the public, so we're just going to wander around here. We love to see historical gardens. So next to the gardens are all of these historical buildings that have been turned into shops. And I think these are original buildings to the estate, the Reynolds estate, because some of them have names on them that would indicate that, but I'm not sure if these are the original location that the buildings were in. But it's a nice little shopping area, and you could probably get something to eat here too. There's also a nice walking trail through the woods here that goes around what was the original estate, and I think there's a little lake back there, but we're just gonna do a little bit of it. There they go. Just stopping at this little town of Mocksville, North Carolina to see this Daniel Boone plaque. There's a lot of Daniel Boone history in this area. When he was a teenager, his family came here from Pennsylvania and settled a few miles outside of Mocksville. There's a rumor or a legend that they lived in a cave down by the river while their house was being built. Of course, it's not substantiated. There's no evidence for it, but that's what the local legend says. So we're going to go see the cave next. But this is a little plaque that tells about Daniel Boone here. This memorial erected to Daniel Boone, hunter, explorer, backwoodsman, soldier, surveyor, road builder, legislator, magistrate. He lived and learned woodcraft in Davie County, 1750 to 65. Squire and Sarah Boone, parents of Daniel Boone, pioneers of the Yadkin, whose remains are interred 1 mile northwest in Joppa Graveyard, coming from Pennsylvania, 1749. There's a geocache right here across the street from the Daniel Boone marker. It took me a minute to find it. It's on this stop sign right behind me. Only a logbook inside. We'll sign it. That was a good hide. We've come over to the little Joppa Cemetery right outside of Mocksville. This is where Daniel Boone's parents are buried. They settled here, I think it stayed here for their whole lives. Daniel Boone actually went on to pioneer the Cumberland Gap from here through the Appalachian Mountains into Kentucky. He led the first group of pioneers west of the Appalachians to settle on the west side, which happened to be in Kentucky. And he moved back and forth quite a bit from here to there, but his family always stayed here, so his parents are buried here. We're gonna see if we can find their gravestones. They've built a nice little monument here to Daniel Boone's parents. These are the original stones that have been covered and preserved. I love old cemeteries. They're so quiet and peaceful. I love to walk around them. We're here at Boone's Cave Park in Lexington, North Carolina, just about 15 minutes from our campground. This is the site where Daniel Boone's family first settled in the mid-1700s when they first came to North Carolina. Not actually at this park, but there's a cave here that local legend says that the Boone family lived in for about a year while their home was being built. There's no actual evidence that the Boone family stayed there, but somehow it became a local legend, and so they've made this park. And so we're going to go see the cave. Should be fun. There is an old cabin foundation here at the park that's not related to the Boones. It was just here on the land. But look what we discovered. My goodness.
Maybe just a black rat snake.
Black rat snake. It's the same kind that we saw in the Adirondacks. Black rat snakes are not poisonous, if that's what it is.
Nothing creepy about that. It's like it's really cursed.
Here's the cave.
Cool air from
Here, come inside.
just 2 ways we can go.
Come in the cave. I don't know, I'm a little dubious if a family of more than a few people lived in here.
Temporary.
Yeah, temporary shelter.
They could be out of the elements.
Yeah. I think officially this cave goes about 140 feet back, but that's way to the crevices back there. It's been a couple of months since we took Griffin to the groomer in Maine. You might have seen that on our previous video. So he's getting pretty shaggy now. I try to groom him every couple of months, and since he went to a professional groomer last time, I'm gonna try it myself this time. Maybe we can get on an every other schedule or every 3, something like that. But even though it's late October, it's really warm down here, and we're only heading farther south from here. So he's been acting kind of warm lately when we've gone out for walks, so I want to make sure and give him a nice haircut today. Here, Griff. That looks better. Nice and clean. I don't get it quite as short as the groomer, but I think that's passable. Okay, so Griffin still looks a little bit shaggy. I'm working on my dog grooming skills. Next week, we're going to show you the opposite side of the city in Old Salem Village and some other treats we found along the way. So I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching and have a great week. Bye.